little later, the supervisor arrives and announces that the investigation results are ready. Won excitedly tells him, quickly, announce that Yang is a cheater. However, the supervisor explains what actually happened. He states that right after the 25-minute mark, Yang's beast used a special skill that instantly obliterated the volcanic monster. Wang is utterly shocked, demanding to know how anyone could possibly defeat the volcanic monster instantly like that. The supervisor continues, explaining that because what Yang did was unprecedented, the system essentially glitched out. It didn't eject Yang and just let the timer run out completely. Hearing this, the students are amazed, whispering among themselves, wondering if Yang is superhuman. After the explanation, Yang files a formal complaint to Mo against Wang, pointing out that Wang repeatedly accused him of cheating without a shred of evidence. Mo apologizes to Yang and immediately orders Wang to be stripped of his position as an examiner, stating he is unworthy. The guards comply, dragging Wang out of the arena. As he is dragged away, Wang desperately apologizes, admitting his mistake and begging for forgiveness from anyone who will listen. Finally, Mo officially announces that Yang has achieved a perfect score. He then declares a 30-minute break before the exams resume. At this moment, all the boys view Yang as an absolute monster, while the girls are completely infatuated with him and his power. Mo, observing Yang, realizes that these tests are far too simple for him. A thought strikes him. Perhaps Yang is the very prodigy the higher-ups have been frantically searching for. He immediately orders his staff to notify the elders, urging them to come and see Yang for themselves. At the exact same time, the elders are gathered in the Beast Temple. An elder named Zhao, sitting in the center, asks if there are any reports from the exams regarding an exceptional student, hoping they might finally find the one they are looking for. Elder Chung replies, stating there is no one special in his district. Elder Bai echoes the same sentiment. Elder Yuan mentions he found someone notable, but investigations proved he wasn't the prodigy they sought. Zhao insists that these exams are their best chance to locate the unknown hero, urging everyone not to waste this opportunity and to search thoroughly. Bai interrupts, suggesting that the hero might not even be participating in the exams. This infuriates Zhao, who snaps back that such a scenario would be incredibly frustrating for the. Suddenly, a messenger bursts into the room, announcing he has urgent news from examiner Mo. Zhao orders him to deliver the message immediately. The young man reports from Yang's district, stating that a genius has emerged there who is highly likely the person they've been searching for. Bai scoffs, saying, "Ah, I understand. You must mean Ying Jin's daughter, but I've already confirmed she isn't the one we're looking for." The messenger corrects him, clarifying that he is talking about a different student named Yan, not Ying. The elders are bewildered, stating they have never even heard that name before. Zhao demands the messenger provide more details to help them understand. The young man reveals that Yang managed to destroy both statues in the first round in under 5 minutes. Zhao is stunned, exclaiming that such a feat is unbelievable. The messenger continues, revealing the most shocking part. Yang managed to destroy the volcanic monster, a beast with 100% damage immunity, using an insta-kill skill. All the elders fall completely silent from the shock. Suddenly, Bai slaps the table, declaring, "I bet no one will ever mock my weak district again." Yuan remarks, "It seems a chicken has finally transformed into a phoenix." Chung tells Bai he is incredibly jealous of the powerhouse in his district. Zhao orders everyone to quiet down and demands they move immediately to see this Yang with their own eyes. Bai is thrilled and says, "Let's go right now." However, Zhao places a hand on Bai's shoulder, telling him to stay behind. He explains that they cannot leave the temple unguarded. The elders tell Bai to hold the fort while they go take a quick look, joking that since Yang is from his district, Bai will have plenty of time to see him later. Annoyed, Bai complains, "You're all just making fun of me and taking advantage of my position." A short time later, we cut back to Mo, who is respectfully welcoming the elders. He apologizes for not preparing a formal reception, as he had no idea they were coming. Zhao dismisses the formalities and immediately demands to see Yang. Mo is slightly taken aback by their urgency but complies, pointing Yang out to them. Zhao rushes over, observing Yang, and notes, "The boy is handsome and strong. It's clear he will be the hope of our nation." Chung cautions him, saying, "Let's not jump to conclusion. Let's wait and see how he performs in the final test." Zhao agrees and orders Mo to start the final exam immediately. Mo obeys. Mo returns to the arena, and the students realize the final round is about to begin. Mo addresses the crowd, warning them that this final test will be extremely difficult. The objective, combat against Calamity Monster. Panic spreads among the students, who protest that they are merely beginners and could die. Mo reassures them, explaining that this is merely an AI simulation, meaning no one will actually get hurt. He details the scoring. Surviving for 1 minute grants 500 points, and the test will last for exactly 10 minutes. The students are thrilled, realizing this is a great opportunity to rack up massive points. Yang, however, thinks to himself, it's obvious these students don't understand anything. This test is going to be brutally difficult for them. The final exam immediately begins. Yang is teleported into the arena, where a massive crocodile spawns before him. He uses his detection skill and discovers the beast is level 16. This means his insta-kill skill won't work against it, so he decides he must defeat it through sustained combat. He summons Xing and Zhulong. Meanwhile, the battle is broadcasted on a screen for all the elders to see. Zhao is amazed, confirming, those are indeed the two beasts that appeared in the temple. Cheng agrees, stating that Yang is undoubtedly the unknown hero they've been searching for. Yuan suddenly gasps, pointing at the screen and urging the others to look closely. They watch as Xing swings his axe, dealing a staggering 50,000 damage to the crocodile in a single hit. Cheng is astounded, saying, in my entire life, I have never seen a student deal that kind of damage to a calamity monster. Yuan wonders aloud about the secret behind the unbelievable power of Yang's beast. Zhao suggests they check Yang's skill data through his status panel, but when they try, the supervisor looks confused, reporting something strange. Zhao asks what's wrong. The supervisor explains that Yang's status panel is completely blocked. The only thing visible is that his rank is SSS. Cheng is bewildered. Zhao realizes the implication and tells the others. This means the access clearance for Yang's information is higher than our own. Yuan concludes, it's obvious now. Yang's amulet rank is even higher than the ruler tier. Zhao adds, 12 lights were supposed to be the absolute maximum, but clearly, our maximum isn't even close to measuring Yang's true power. The elders shed tears of joy, overwhelmed with emotion, declaring they can hardly believe their country will finally know lasting peace. Back in the arena, Yang orders Zhulong to deliver the finishing blow, successfully killing the crocodile. He catches his breath, saying, I can't believe I actually finished the exam. But his relief is short-lived as he is suddenly ambushed by an entire wave of monsters, all spawning with terrifying roars. Yang yells, ordering the turtle to instantly use its taunt to draw their aggro. As the turtle unleashes its sonic waves, Yang commands Zhulong and Xing to attack with everything they have. The elders watch the battle unfold. Cheng remarks that abruptly increasing the difficulty of the test just for Yang seems unfair. Xiao counters, arguing that since Yang is the hope of their nation, it is better to put him through the most grueling tests possible. Yuan adds, what matters now is seeing how he handles this wave. Xiao watches proudly and says, he's already succeeding. He's practically defeated all the monsters present. Unfortunately, just as Xiao says this, he jinxes Yang. A death needle shoots out and strikes Yang squarely in the back. Reacting instantly, Yang spins around and fires a soul tear directly at the spider that shot him. Xiao is utterly baffled, noting that Yang wasn't affected by the attack at all. Cheng urgently orders the supervisor to investigate this immediately. The supervisor checks and reports. Yang possesses a passive skill that transfers all incoming damage directly to his beast. The elders are even more shocked, struggling to process this revelation. Overwhelmed by the constant stream of unbelievable surprises, Yuan demands someone get him a sedative. At that moment, a colossal dragon materializes in the sky above the arena. It speaks, declaring, I have finally found my target. Glaring down at Yang and his beast, Xing leaps up with his axe to attack the calamity monsters, but a sudden flash of golden light envelopes Yang's beasts, and they completely vanish. Xing is bewildered, having no idea what just happened. Even Yang is deeply confused, wondering why his beasts disappeared. Suddenly, a strange portal tears open in the ceiling of the arena. Terrifying eyes peer out from it, and then the massive dragon itself descends. Yang smiles, remarking, it seems this exam is full of surprises. He uses his detection skill on the dragon. Smiles, remarking, It seems this exam is full of surprises. He uses his detection skill on the dragon, but is shocked to find that all its information is unknown. The only detail provided is its title, Calamity of Annihilation. Ying is bewildered. The dragon launches an attack. Realizing the danger, Ying notes, "This looks very bad," and leaps backward to dodge. The attack detonates, and Ying notices that the sheer force of the explosion actually tore through space itself. He realizes this opponent is not an AI simulation, it's something entirely different. He wonders how a monster like this could possibly appear in the exam. Meanwhile, the elder's viewing screen completely shorts out. Chao is furious, yelling at the staff. Chum orders someone to fix it immediately, and the supervisor scrambles to comply. A beam of light pierces the sky, followed by a deafening sound. The elders wonder what is happening. A magnificent firebird descends into the stadium, carrying Lady Qi, known as one of the Imperial Protector. Chao is surprised to see her and formally welcomes her, asking the reason for her sudden visit. She ignores the pleasantries and immediately demands, "Where is he right now?" Confused, Chao asks who she means. She clarifies, "The genius." Chao tells her he is in Arena 1. Without a word, she strikes the air with her hand, literally tearing a rift in space, and steps through it. Back in the arena, the dragon whips its tail, swatting Xing away. Ying is frustrated, noting his opponent is overwhelmingly strong. He knows that the only reason they survived this long is due to the turtle's defense and the 10x stat multiplier on his beast. The turtle attempts to bluff the dragon, but the dragon slams its tail heavily onto the turtle's shell. The dragon then gathers energy in its mouth, aiming a devastating attack directly at Ying. Ying is terrified, saying, "This is really bad." Suddenly, a bright light flashes in the arena. Our hero finds himself teleported outside the hall. His eyes are squeezed shut, and his arms are raised to shield his face in sheer terror. He slowly opens his eyes, shocked to find he is still alive. He looks around and is surprised to see Lady Qi standing there. She asks if he is all right. Ying thanks her for saving his life. The dragon roars furiously, demanding to know how Qi dared to interfere with its plan. She yells back, ordering it to return to the abyss immediately, promising to spare its life if it complies. The dragon scoffs, mocking her power and challenging her to try and kill it. Wasting no time, Qi orders her firebird to attack. The bird dives at the dragon. The dragon sneers, "You are walking to your death," and unleashes a blast. The two attacks collide. The dragon's attack is ultimately stronger, striking the firebird and killing it. The dragon gloats, asking Qi why she sacrificed an SS-rank beast just to save Ying. She replies, "I'm willing to sacrifice even more if I have to." She points out that the dragon is injured and exhausted, warning it that if it doesn't leave now, she will kill it. The dragon smirks, revealing, "What you see before you is merely a fraction of my true body." It vows that one day, it will return at full power and destroy everyone, before finally vanishing. The scene shifts to the other students, who exit their arenas completely terrified, saying they thought they were going to be trapped in the exam halls forever. Ying notices Qi trembling slightly. He gently takes her hand and asks if she is all right. She replies that this is not the place to talk and asks him to accompany her to a break room. Ying agrees and follows her. Once inside, Ying asks her what just happened. Qi asks him if he knows what occurred 10 years ago, when two of the country's strongest level 100 heroes died fighting beasts from the abyss. Ying is surprised and asks, "Do you mean the Black Abyssal Dragon?" She confirms this, revealing, "That very dragon has its eyes set on you now." Ying is bewildered, asking why a dragon like that would target him. She explains, "The dragon views you as a massive future threat and is trying to eliminate you early." Ying asks her to elaborate. She explains that his beasts are incredibly powerful. She mentions summoners in other countries who obtain similarly powerful beasts and manage to clear all the gates in their nation. She points out that Ying currently has 3 immensely powerful beasts. When he fully evolves, he will be vastly stronger than any of those past heroes. She asked him to put himself in the dragon's shoes. "If you are from the abyss and saw someone who could become a major threat, what would you do?" Ying replies, "I would obviously attack them and try to kill them before they could grow strong enough to kill me." She nods. That is exactly what the dragon is doing. She advises him to hide his true power for now to avoid further danger. Ying disagrees, stating, "Hiding won't do any good. he boldly declares he will join Tianlong University, become the strongest summoner, and fear no one. She smiles at his words, thinking to herself that Yang is incredibly ambitious. She changes the subject, telling him to prepare because in 3 days, there will be a joint training session between Tianlong and another academy. Yang is surprised, asking, "Wait, am I already accepted into the academy, and it starts before the official term?" She chuckles, "My boy, you are ranked first in the entire country. What I'm doing for you is completely standard procedure." Yang thanks her and agrees to go. Before he leaves, she warns him that the beasts of the abyss will eventually attack their country again, expressing her hope that Yang will become the core pillar of their defense. Yang reassures her, promising to do his absolute best. She dismisses him. Yang leaves and later meets Ying in a park. Ying asks him, "So, is Lady Chi your girlfriend now, or what?" Yang is taken aback, explaining that she saved his life and even sacrificed her SS-rank beast to do so. Ying retorts, "It sounds like you're going to end up with her since she saved you." Yang is confused by her excessive interest and asks, "Are you jealous of her right now, or something?" Ying blushes furiously, vehemently denying she could ever be jealous of anyone. She hastily makes an excuse about having something important to do and runs off. Yang is left bewildered by her reaction, muttering that he was only joking. The scene shifts back to the teachers. Chom brags that his student, Ying, is a genius for securing second place in the entire province. He asks Sue about Yang's results. Sue, feeling annoyed, replies they will know when the official results are posted. Chom laughs, calling Yan a failure and predicting a terrible score. Just then Yan walks in, announcing his return. Sue is surprised, asking why he is there since university selections aren't until tomorrow. Chong scoffs, assuming Yan's score was so abysmal, he left early because no academy would accept him. Annoyed, Yang retorts, "I got the lowest score in history because I didn't lose a single point in any of the exams." Sue is stunned, asking if he's serious. Chong refuses to believe him, calling Yang a liar, stating such a score is impossible. Suddenly, Chong receives a message on his phone. He checks it, announcing the results are out and saying this will expose Yang's lie. But as he reads it, he discovers Ying is indeed in second place, and the first place belongs to Yang. He is utterly shocked, stammering that it's impossible. Sue bursts into laughter, declaring he had total faith in Yang from the very beginning. Yang then tells Sue he is heading to Tianlong Academy right now, and came specifically to say goodbye to him first. Sue is thrilled, urging Yang to train hard so he can become the protector of their country. Yang assures him, promising to become the strongest. Our hero heads to Tianlong Academy. He is excited, noting this is the first step toward achieving his dreams. However, he is confused to find the entrance empty, expecting someone to receive him. Suddenly, a woman runs up to him, panting heavily. She apologizes profusely for being late. Yang tells her it's fine. As they walk together, she introduces herself as Li, his designated guide, telling him to come to her if he needs anything. She shows him to his dorm, which excites Yang. He is about to go inside, but Li stops him, presenting him with his reward for securing first place in the exams. Yang is surprised to receive 2 scrolls and a skill book, noting how generous the academy is. Li then hands him a pouch containing 5,000 heavenly dragon coin. Yang is confused, having never heard of this currency. Li explains it is the official currency used exclusively within the academy. She emphasizes that acquiring these coins is exceedingly difficult, and a single heavenly dragon coin is worth more than 1,000 normal coins. Yang stores the pouch, promising to spend them carefully. Li tells him he can head up to his room now. Yang goes to his room and immediately pulls out the upgrade scrolls. He chooses to upgrade his soul tier and summoning skills. He uses the scrolls. They vanish. A golden aura surrounds him, and the upgrades are complete. He checks his status panel and is shocked to discover he can now summon 4 beasts instead of 3. He kicks himself, realizing if he had known, he would have used the second scroll on the summoning skill as well to get 5 beasts. He then picks up the skill book, wondering what it contains. He opens it and finds a skill called Frost Mist. This skill reduces the target's speed, has a 5% chance to freeze them, and has a range of 10 uses the target's speed, has a 5% chance to freeze them, and has a range of 10 meters. Yang loves the skill, calling it amazing. He uses the book, is enveloped in an icy aura, and learns the skill. He goes to sleep, looking very pleased, noting, "I needed a crowd control skill. Now I have all the basic skills covered." Time passes, and morning arrives. Yang's phone rings. He answers to find a woman on the line who introduces herself as the coordinator for the joint training. She asks him to come to the meeting room immediately to meet his teammates. Yang agrees and heads over. When he arrives, the coordinator welcomes him. Yang is surprised and asks if she knows him since she used his name. She laughs. "Of course I know you. You're the provincial champion, and you entered the academy before class is even officially started." Yang chuckles, admitting it's easy to recognize him since he's the only new face around. The coordinator introduces him to his team. The first person is Hao, a level 25 summoner who plays the attacker role on the team. Yang greets him, extending his hand for a handshake. Hao says, "I can't believe I finally meet the Yang my uncle talks so much about." Yang is confused, asking who his uncle is. Hao reveals his uncle is Examiner Wang. Yang realizes the connection. Hao then slaps Yang's extended hand away, sneering, "I don't shake hands with a level 11 failure." The coordinator is furious, yelling at Hao that his behavior is unacceptable, especially towards a champion. Hao scoffs, claiming everyone here is a genius, and Yang isn't special, adding, "To me, Yang is just trash." Instantly, Yang delivers a brutal, lightning-fast slap across Hao's face. The force literally sends Hao flying across the room, crashing into and shattering the wall. The rest of the team is in absolute shock. Yang casually remarks that Hao looks like he wants to kill him. Hao struggles to his feet, wiping blood from his mouth, cursing at Yang. "How dare you hit me?" he screams. Yang replies calmly, "It felt completely normal to me." Enraged, Hao conjures a terrifying attack, screaming that he wants Yang dead, and launches it. A massive explosion rocks the room, but when the smoke clears, Hao is confused, wondering how Yang vanished before the attack hit. Suddenly, Yang appears right behind him. Hao is startled. Yang uses his Soul Tear skill on Hao, causing Hao to scream in agonizing pain. Yang lets him drop, warning him that if he ever tries anything again, he won't hold back. He then tells the room he has no desire to get to know any of them, and turns to leave. The coordinator is stunned, but tells Yang he is free to go. The rest of the team whispers among themselves, realizing Yang cannot possibly be just level 11. A level 11 could never casually humiliate a level 25 summoner like that. Meanwhile, Hao clutches his head, seething with rage, vowing to make Yang regret this and wish for death. As Yang walks away, the coordinator, Tong, runs after him, calling his name. Yang turns and asks what's wrong. Tong warns him about Hao, explaining he is incredibly vindictive and will definitely seek revenge. Yang thanks her for the warning. He then asks if she knows the location of any good gates, as he wants to level up. Tong says she knows an excellent gate and promises to send him the coordinates. Yang is delighted and thanks her again. A short while later, Yang arrives at the designated gate, the Fierce Wolf Gate. He verifies the coordinates and enters. He finds himself inside a dark cave. Countless glowing wolf eyes pierce the darkness, slowly advancing toward him. Yang summons his beasts, ordering them to attack immediately while he prepares to summon a new friend. His beasts charge forward. Yang uses his summon skill. A green vortex forms, and a beast resembling a wild buffalo descends. It is an SSS-rank beast. Yang is surprised by its appearance and checks its stats. Its name is Fei. It possesses passive skills that generate poison and disease. Its poison damage is literally explosive, dealing 150% of normal damage to the target. Furthermore, the poison lingers in the area, inflicting continuous damage to all enemies within range. Yang enthusiastically orders Fei to attack and show off his skills. Fei complies, spewing a torrent of poison from his mouth, striking a wolf. The wolf is instantly poisoned, collapses to the ground, and screams in agony as its health rapidly drains away every second, along with the other wolves near it. Moments later, they all die. Yang is amazed by the beast's terrifying power, noting it is this lethal, while only being at level 1. We cut back to the thing up has become much easier. He exits the gate and decides to go home and sleep. Suddenly, Jiang appears, running, screaming, and begging for help. Yang is surprised to see her here. She crashes into him, pleading with him to save her, explaining that the Black Shark Guild is trying to kill her. Overcome with exhaustion, she faints at his arms. At that moment, the Black Shark thugs arrive, demanding Yang hand Jian over. Yang asks what happens if he refuses. The thug at the front raises his sword, assuring Yang they will just kill him. Another thug speaks up, recognizing Yang. I know this guy. He's the one our friends vanished while chasing. He explains their friends were hunting Yang to steal a valuable artifact. The leader is thrilled by this news, declaring them incredibly lucky. He orders Yang to hand over Jian and the artifact, promising to spare his life if he complies. Yang replies coldly, "All right, if you even think about attacking me now, you'll have no one to blame but yourselves when you die." The leader is enraged, yelling that this is no time to play the hero, and orders his men to kill him. Yang instantly summons his beasts. The thugs are horrified by the sheer number and high rank of the monster. They quickly drop their weapon, fall to their knees, and beg for mercy. Yang looks down at them and says, "I can't possibly let you live after what you've done. You've angered me." His beasts unleash their attacks. The thugs are paralyzed with terror, their screams echoing through the area. Moments later, the slaughter is complete, and Yang dismisses his beasts. Yang picks up the unconscious Jiang and begins walking away. He hears a rustling sound from the bushes. He stops and orders whoever is hiding to show themselves. A young man steps out, trembling in fear, pleading that he is a good person and not with the thugs. Yang asks what he is doing in a place like this. The young man explains he saw the thugs chasing Jiang and followed them, hoping to find a chance to save her. He admits he hid because he was terrified by the power of Yang's beasts and didn't want to get caught in the crossfire. Yang tells him to forget everything he just saw. The young man frantically nods, swearing his silence. Yang gives him a cold look, saying, "I suggest you keep that secret well. If you don't, you'll only bring ruin upon yourself." The young man desperately reassures him he will keep his oath. Yang returns to his dorm and places Jian on his bed. He remarks to himself, even though Jian looks so thin, she's surprisingly heavy. He decides to take a quick shower while waiting for her to wake up. He steps into the bathroom. At that exact moment, Jian wakes up, holding her head, confused about where she is. A short time later, Yang steps out of the shower. Jian sees him, screams at the top of her lungs, and curses at him in fear. Yang yells back, explaining he didn't do anything to her. Jian calms down, saying, "This is the first time anyone has ever managed to save my life." Yang tells her to speak seriously because this is no time for joking. Jian then points out that he just looks ridiculous right now. Yang gets to the point, asking why the Black Shark Guild was hunting her. Jiang pulls out a scroll, explaining they wanted it because it's a treasure map. Yang is surprised by the concept of a treasure map. Jiang explains that news of her possessing it leaked to the guild, which is why they were after her. Yang understands, advising her to hide such items carefully because they'd put her life in danger. Jiang agrees, saying he is absolutely right. She then offers to give him the treasure map, suggesting he might be able to put it to good use. Yang looks at Jiang in surprise and asks if this map is a gift. Jiang smiles and replies, "Yes, because you saved my life." Yang modestly tells her that he didn't do anything to deserve such a precious treasure. However, Jiang insists, telling him, "You can ask for absolutely anything that comes to your mind, and I will do it immediately. You literally saved my life." At that exact moment, Ying bursts into the room, throwing the door open. She furiously asks Yang why he hasn't been answering her calls. Suddenly, she freezes, shocked to see Yang standing there wearing nothing but a towel. Her anger flares up again, and she screams, "What exactly are you doing right now?" Jiang seizes the opportunity to fake embarrassment, softly saying, "It seems Ying has walked in at a very bad time." This makes Ying even more furious. She glares at Jiang and says, "I never expected you to be this kind of person." Yang frantically tries to calm the situation, begging Ying to just listen and let him explain. Meanwhile, Jiang innocently asks Yang, "Is Ying your girlfriend, or what?" Yang shifts uncomfortably and clarifies, "She is just a classmate, nothing more." He then turns to Ying and asks, "Why are you even here?" Hurt by his words, Ying snaps back that she shouldn't have come at all, so she wouldn't have to see this mess. Yang tries to soothe her, insisting she misunderstood the situation, but despite all his attempts to calm her down, Ying turns on her heel, storms out, and slams the door shut in a fit of rage. Realizing she just caused a massive problem, Jiang quickly gets up and tells Yang, "I really need to leave right now." Once she is gone, Yang falls back onto his bed, sighing heavily. Trouble just loves to follow me around, and I can never escape it, he mutters. He then remembers the treasure map, and wonders why Jiang gave it to him in the first place. He pulls it out, and uses his detection skill on it. The system advises that it is best to retrieve this treasure with a team of level 20 or higher. True to his stubborn nature, Yang decides he won't form a team, and will go completely alone. Hiked up, he declares, "Tomorrow, that treasure is mine." The next day arrives. Yang is following the map's directions when a prompt suddenly appears, asking if he wants to enter the Goblin realm. Now, our hero accepts, and instantly, he is teleported inside the gate. He is surprised to see the map vanish from his hands, realizing it was a one-time use item. Almost immediately, a massive horde of goblins charges at him. Without wasting a second, he summons his beasts, ordering them to annihilate the goblins. As usual, the dragon turtle taunts the goblins, drawing their attention. They unleashes his poison, creating a toxic swamp beneath the horde. Yet, despite the deadly attacks, the goblin's health barely drops. Intrigued, Yang uses his detection skill. He discovers that these goblins are exceptionally strong. Makes sense, he says. This is a secret realm, so everything here is special. These normal monsters have the stats of bosses in regular gates. Instead of being worried, he rejoices, knowing this special gate will skyrocket his level. 20 minutes of combat pass. We see Yang actually taking a nap while his beasts fight, passively gaining a massive amount of experience. Xing eventually walks over and nudges. Yang wakes up, asking if the fight is over. Xing confirms it is. Yang gets up and inspects the equipment dropped by the goblin, but tosses it all aside, calling it trash tier loot. Suddenly, a violent shockwave hits our hero. He screams, demanding to know who dared to ambush him. He then notices the turtle moving toward a specific goblin. Yang instantly uses detection on this goblin and realizes it is the boss of the realm. He is surprised to see its stats are incredibly weak, but it possesses a dangerous skill. Be Steel. Unwilling to take any risks, Yang immediately orders Xing to attack. Xing obeys, striking the boss and killing it effortlessly. Yang is confused. The path ahead is a dead end. A secret realm wouldn't be this easy, he mutters. Suddenly, a violent earthquake rocks the cavern, and the ground begins to collapse. Yang grows increasingly worried, wondering what is happening. As the dust settles, a massive chasm appears in the ground. Our hero smiles, saying, "All right, now things are making sense. Following a treasure map wouldn't be a walk in the park." He decides to enter the chasm, leaping down alongside his beast. The moment he lands, a barrage of arrows rains down on him. Shocked, he notes, "This is a very bad position." Just in the nick of time, the turtle steps forward, blocking the volley of arrows with its massive shell. Yang notices that the weapons these goblins wield are vastly superior to the ones on the upper floor. He orders Xing and Zhulong to eradicate the enemies immediately. The two beasts launch their counterattack. Yang uses detection again and confirms these goblins are leagues stronger than the ones above. No wonder the map recommended a level 20 team, he says. The difficulty spike is insane. Amidst the chaos, Xing hacks a goblin to pieces with his axe, while Yang casts Frost Mist, freezing another goblin solid. "I didn't expect the instant freeze to trigger this time," Yang says happily. Xing shatters the frozen goblin with a single swing. Yang then commands Fei to clear a path directly to the boss. Fei unleashes a wave of poison, filling the area. Xing charges through, slicing down the weakened goblin, while Zhulong breathes relentless fire, reducing them to ash. As time passes, our hero rejoices. He has finally reached the end. There, sitting atop a large treasure chest, is a goblin king wearing a crown. Yang uses detection and is stunned by the king's stats. They are equivalent to a level 15 calamity monster. Acting swiftly, Yang casts Soul Tear. The purple orb strikes the king, who clutches his head and screams in agony. Enraged, the king stands up, roaring orders at his goblin minions to attack instantly. The goblin horde charges with their weapons drawn. On the other side, Yang orders Zhulong to fire. The dragon unleashes a devastating inferno. The king, fueled by rage, sprints directly at Yang with all his might, but Yang remains perfectly calm. He casts Frost Mist, freezing the charging king in his tracks. Xing seizes the opening, leaps into the air, and brings his axe crashing down, cleanly executing the king. Yang is rewarded with 20,000 experience points. With the king dead, the treasure chest unlocks. Hiked, Yang runs over to inspect his loot. Inside, he finds a goblin staff, an item that boosts both physical and soul stats. Yang is thrilled, as this will significantly increase his spiritual energy. Digging deeper into the chest, he finds a soul crystal, which adds 500 points to his soul stat. Finally, he uncovers a sacred potion, an item that guarantees the awakening of a passive skill for the user. Yang is ecstatic. This treasure is unbelievable, he says. He uncorks the potion, hoping for a good skill, and downs it. A radiant golden aura surrounds him, and he acquires the Purification Aura. He checks its details and learns that this aura makes him immune to all negative debuffs and status effects. He recalls how debuffs had caused him trouble in past battles, but with this aura, that will never happen again. Satisfied with his massive haul, he decides to head home and sleep. Time skips forward. We arrive at Black Rock Mountain, where a massive crowd of students is gathered. Our hero arrives and greets Tom, the coordinator, letting her know he is ready. Tom welcomes him, explaining that teams here are formed of 5 members, and everyone must choose their squad. Nearby, a student is bragging to Hao. You are incredibly strong in defense. Team up with me. I'm an outstanding attacker. Dozens of students swarm Hao, begging to join his team. Hao laughs arrogantly, basking in the attention. He points at Yang and mocks it. Look at that pathetic guy. He might be the provincial champion, but absolutely no one wants to join his team. The other students agree, stating it's natural to avoid teaming up with a newbie. Hearing this, Tom steps up and tells Yang, "Don't worry, I'll join your team." Her friend is furious, warning Tom, "This training isn't a joke. You could die in there." But Tong firmly states she has absolute faith in Yang. Hao continues to mock them, declaring, "You won't even be able to enter. You don't have enough members to meet the requirement." Just in time, the young man who witnessed Yang saving John steps forward. His name is Xuan. He approaches Yang and begs to join. "I specialize in endurance and defense," Xuan says. "I will protect you with my life. Please, let me join your team." Yang smiles and accepts his request. Hao is furious. He glares at Xuan and asks if he's lost his mind for joining a newbie. Xuan snaps back, warning Hao, "If you ever speak disrespectfully about Yang again, I will destroy you." Hao's anger boils over, and he threatens to make Xuan regret his words once they are inside the secret realm. Xuan then approaches another timid student named Lu, asking him to join. Terrified, Lu reluctantly agrees. Xuan tries to recruit more students, calling it a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but they all refuse, joining in on mocking Yan's incomplete team. Suddenly, a girl with striking silver hair steps forward. "All right, I'll join Yang's team," she says calmly. Xuan is stunned. He recognizes her as Yao and asks, "Are you serious?" Yao replies, "What? Are you going to reject me?" Xuan stammers, "No, it's just, you've never joined any team before." Hao tries to intervene, offering Yao a spot on his team instead, promising her the main attacker role. Yao looks at him with pure disgust. "You don't deserve to be my teammate." She sneers, unleashing a barrage of insults at him. Hao is completely humiliated and left speechless, while Xuan bursts into laughter. "I never expected Yao to have such a sharp tongue." He chuckles. Xuan turns to Yang and whispers, "With Yao on our team, this training is going to be a breeze." Yang shrugs indifferently. "Whatever. I don't really care about the team's overall power anyway." Xuan apologizes, slapping his forehead. "Right, I completely forgot. Your power alone is enough to guarantee our victory." Yao overhears this and is intrigued. It is the first time she has ever heard Xuan praise someone with such absolute conviction. The surrounding students look on in sheer envy, completely baffled as to why a top-tier student like Yao would willingly join Yang. Tong gathers the newly formed team to brief them. "This test takes place in the Dark Skeleton world," she explains. "The first team to acquire the Dark Stone wins." Yang, unfamiliar with the item, asks what the Dark Stone does. Xuan explains that it is an ultra-rare artifact that grants a summoner an additional passive skill. Hyped by the reward, Yang tells his team, "All right, let's move out." Xuan looks worried, warning them that Hao will definitely try to sabotage them inside. Making an already dangerous secret realm even deadlier, Yang pats Schwann's shoulder, reassuring him. Don't worry, victory is already ours. The team steps through the gate into a world overrun with skeleton. Yang notices there are no other teams around. Deducing that spawn points are randomized, the team summons their beasts. Tong summons a deer, Lu a white wolf, and Schwan a brown bear, all A-rank beasts. Then, Yao summons her black panther, an S-rank beast. Yang glances at Yao, confirming she is indeed the strongest regular member of the team. After a moment of thought, Yang says, our team is lacking in defense. He decides to fill that role himself and summons his dragon turtle. Yao is shocked to see the massive, imposing turtle. Why are you summoning your strongest beast right at the start? She asks. Yang surprises her by replying, actually, this is my weakest beast. Yao is delighted, thinking to herself, Yang is definitely hiding some terrifying secret. Our hero orders the turtle to clear the path. The turtle lets out a booming roar, taunting the skeleton. Hordes of undead rush the turtle, bashing their weapons against its shell. But seconds later, every skeleton that struck the turtle collapses into a pile of bones, dead. Lu is terrified, asking how that happened when the turtle didn't even attack. Yang calmly explains, the damage they dealt was reflected right back at them. Tong is amazed, noting that Yang's turtle is incredibly strong and will be vital for what lies ahead. Yao, refusing to just stand by, orders her panther to attack. The S-rank beast lunges, crushing a skeleton in its jaws and shraying the rest with its claws. Tong announces she will provide support, and her deer casts a buff on the turtle. Empowered, the turtle roars even louder, stomping forward and crushing the remaining skeleton. Yang is highly impressed by the buff, thinking, if I could just get a support beast, leveling up would be so much faster. Suddenly, the ground begins to tremble violently. Lu panics, asking what is happening. Tong grimly announces, an entire army of skeletons is charging right at a massive, seemingly endless sea of undead crests the horizon. Yang asks the turtle if its taunt caused this, but the turtle shakes its head. We then see the true culprit, a summoner from a rival kingdom's team, laughing maniacally from a distance. No one from the Dragon Kingdom will ever defeat me. He gloats. Schwan spots the rival and flies into a rage, cursing him and his kingdom. Tong looks at the approaching horde, stating, if that many skeletons reach us, we are doomed. Yao steps forward, her eyes glowing with determination. I'll handle this, she declares, and summons a terrifying SS-ranked thunder snake. Tong gasps, realizing Yao's true power. Lu cheers, believing Yao is going to save them. The thunder snake unleashes a devastating storm of lightning, vaporizing huge swathes of the skeleton army. Yang finally understands why Hao was so desperate to recruit her. However, Yang knows the horde is too massive for Yao to handle alone. He steps up, raising his hand, and casts Frost Mist. A wave of absolute zero cold sweeps across the battlefield, flash freezing the entire skeleton army instantly. Tong is speechless, asking who did that. Lu cheers, assuming the genius Yao cast the spell, but Yao shakes her head. I can't do magic like that. His skills. Tong is even more shocked. How can a level 13 student possess such a terrifying, high-tier skill? Yang shrugs, casually lying, I got it as a reward for taking first place in the exams. His teammates stare at him in sheer disbelief. Schwan breaks the silence. Well, the important thing is we can have some fun smashing frozen skeletons now. Yang tells him to stop chatting and get moving. Schwan orders his bear to shatter the frozen undead. The bear acts like a wrecking ball, smashing them to pieces in second. All clear, Chuang reports. Yang nods. Good. Let's head toward the central zone. After traveling for a while, they arrive at an area choked with thick purple smog. Ton identifies it as the malaria forest. Yang asks if anyone brought antidotes or gas masks. Lu shakes his head nervously. At that exact moment, Hao arrives with his team. He mocks Yang's squad, laughing at their predicament. Chuan angrily tells him to stop gloating. Hao smirks, noting they clearly forgot to bring poison resistance gear. He pulls out a bundle of antidotes, sneering, if Yang gets on his knees and calls the master, I might just give you some. Yang realizes Hao is surplus medicine. So you're planning to steal from me? Hao asks incredulously. Yang smiles coldly. You brought us a gift all the way out here. It would be rude to refuse. Hao threatens it. I will sit here and watch you and your friends choke to death on the poison. Yang laughs. I think I'm the one who should be saying that. Yang summons Fei. The SSS-rank beast's overwhelming toxic aura instantly floods the area. neutralizing and overpowering the forest's natural poison. Yao is stunned. That's an SSS-rank beast, the Poison Lord Fei. Tong is equally floored. Unable to comprehend that Yang casually possesses an SSS-rank monster, Lu suddenly starts swatting at the air, claiming the poison is making him hallucinate. Shuang smacks him upside the head repeatedly to snap him out of it, yelling, "It's not a hallucination, that's his actual beast." Rubbing his head, Lu whimpers, Okay, I believe you." Yang orders Fei to steal Hao's medicine. Hao yells, "In your dreams," but 5 minutes later, Fei trots back, carrying the entire bag of antidotes in his mouth. Yang pats Fei affection and calls out to his team, "I've got the cure." Shuang cheers, deeply grateful to Yang. Yang thinks strategically, if Hao made it this far, the rest of his team must be nearby. He orders Fei to lead the way and clear the path. As they walk through the toxic fog, Yao approaches Yang and asks, "Why didn't you take the antidote yourself?" Yang explains he has a passive skill that grants him complete immunity to all negative status effects. Yao is left in awe, realizing Yang is vastly more powerful than she ever imagined, and she burns with curiosity to see his full strength. The team safely exits the toxic zone. Shuang gasps for air, noting the atmosphere was suffocating even with the antidote. Suddenly, the sounds of intense combat echo through the area. Tong and the others are instantly on high alert. Yang climbs a tall tree to scout. He sees the rival kingdom's team fighting the skeletons they aggroed earlier. Shuang is furious and eager to jump in. "This is our chance for revenge," he snarls. Yang tells him to calm down and stay hidden. From his vantage point, Yang casts Soul Tear, striking one of the rival summoners. The target drops his weapon, clutching his head and screaming in agony. His teammates are confused, yelling at him to watch out. Before they can help, a skeleton lunges and brutally kills the incapacitated summoner. The rival team is shocked and devastated, having no idea why their friend suddenly collapsed. Shuang sneaks closer to them, laughing menacingly. "Payback time," he taunts. A rival team member spins around, furiously demanding to know if Shuang's team caused this. Yang steps out of the shadows, casually advising the rival, "You should really watch your back." The rival turns, only to see a skeleton leaping directly at his face. Terrified, he realizes it's the end for him. With the rivals occupied, Yang orders his team to move on to the next zone. As they walk away, Lu hears the screams of the rival team being slaughtered. He feels a pang of pity, but ignores it and keeps moving. Eventually, Yang's team arrives at the Black Rock Island castle. They enter the dark, imposing fortress. Xuan notes, "The boss is definitely in here." He looks to Yang for instruction. Lu, fully trusting Yang now, says, "We will follow your orders to the letter." Yang lays out the plan. "I want you all to split up, scout the area, count the monsters, gather intel on their types, and meet back here." The team agrees and disperses. Exactly 20 minutes later, they reconvene. Lu reports, "The monsters in the east are weak, but their numbers are massive." Shuang adds, "The west has 2 powerful sub-bosses and a few weaker mobs." Yao suggests, "The south has very few monsters. We should head that way." Yan frowns, noticing someone is missing. "Where is Tom?" Right on cue, Tong comes sprinting back, out of breath. "You guys need to come with me, right now," she urges. "Our kingdom's teams are in an all-out brawl with the Philippine teams." Xuan's eyes light up with rage. "I'm going to crush them," he growls. Yan ignores the faction war and asks Tom, "What about the monsters in the northern sector?" Tom replies, "They've all been wiped out by the crossfire." Yang smiles, "Perfect. Follow me." They arrive at the massive battlefield where the rival summoners are tearing into each other. Shuang asks why they are fighting so fiercely. Yan explains, "They're fighting to decide who gets the right to challenge the boss first." Shuang urges Yan, "Our guys are getting pinned down. We have to help them." Yang smiles faintly, "You guys go ahead and help them. I have to do something quick. I'll be right back." Shuang is confused, knowing Yang is definitely plotting something, but he charges into the fray anyway, screaming, "I'm going to teach these guys a lesson." While the chaotic battle rages, our hero slips on his mask of stealth, turning completely invisible. He bypasses the war zone and walks straight into the boss room. The boss is an imposing figure, sitting on a throne and resting his hands on a massive great sword. Yam uses detection. The boss's stats are formidable, and he possesses a skill called Darkness Sweep, which reduces enemy speed by 50%. He is strong. Yan assesses it. Usually, It would take a level 30 summoner to beat him, but I'm going to win. Yang activates his purification aura to counter the slow debuff and summons Xing. Instantly, Xing leaps across the room, bringing his axe down on the boss and shaving off 100,000 health points. The boss lets out a deafening roar, trying to call his minions for backup. I'm not letting you do that, Yang says, and casts Soul Tear. The purple orb hits the boss, stopping his roar as he clutches his head in pain. Completely paralyzed, Xing capitalizes on the stun, winding up for an even heavier strike, dealing a catastrophic 130,000 damage. The boss slumps over dead. A glowing, shadowy gem drops from his body, the dark stone. However, a system prompt informs Yang that he cannot use the stone until he reaches level 20. Disappointed but pragmatic, Yang stores the stone in his inventory. Suddenly, Yang hears footsteps approaching. He immediately activates his stealth mask and blends into the shadows. A rival stealth team enters the throne room. We are brilliant, one of them boasts. We bypassed the whole war. Their leader proudly adds, all thanks to the secret passage we found. One of the members looks around, confused. Wait, where is the boss? He should be on the throne. The leader examines the ground, noting fresh battle marks. A team member growls, someone played us and beat us to it. The leader's eyes narrow. If the thief is still here, we kill him and take the stone. You guys talk way too much. A voice echoes. Yang drops his stealth and steps into the light. The rival team is startled. The leader smirks. You're either brave or stupid for showing yourself. Hand over the stone, and I'll let you walk out of here alive. Without waiting for an answer, the rival team summons their beast, boasting that their monsters show no mercy and will tear him apart. Yang calmly summoned his own beasts. Let's see who's stronger, he says. When the SSS-rank auras of Zhulong, Xing, and Fei fill the room, the rival team is paralyzed with horror. They cannot comprehend how a level 13 student could command such godlike entity. The rival leader's arrogance vanishes instantly. He drops to his knees, trembling in absolute terror, apologizing profusely. It's just a competition, right? We shouldn't hurt each other, he pleads. Yang looks down at him coldly. It is a competition, and any weakness I show here could compromise my kingdom. The leader slams his forehead against the floor, begging for his life. I won't let you off that easily, Yang says. He orders. Yang turns his back and walks away. Left completely defenseless, the rival team is suddenly swarmed by the dungeon skeleton. As the undead close in, the leader screams in despair. I'll never forgive you for this. A short while later, Yang regroups with his team in the castle's courtyard. Shuang is resting peaceful. Yang asks if a truce was called. Shuang nods. Yeah, out of nowhere, the Philippine teams asked for a ceasefire. It was weird. Yao asked Yang where he vanished to. Let's exit the gate first, and I'll explain everything. Yang replies. They exit the gate. Shuang turns to Yang, eyes wide with anticipation. Did you actually get the stone? Yang smiles. You're too smart for your own good. Just then, a system announcement echoes across the academy. A student has successfully claimed the dark stone. Nearby, a student complains to his friend. I heard some stealth team found a secret passage and stole the boss kill. His friend is furious, calling them dirty cowards. The first student shrugs. It's war. Anything goes. Yan overhears them and chuckles. You guys are idiots. The students are offended and demand he explain himself. Yang asks, is the stealth team you're talking about out here right now? The students look around, realizing the team hasn't exited the gate. Shuang bursts into laughter. Your friends got reckless, and the boss probably wiped them out. One of the students pieces it together, glaring at Yang's team. You guys killed them, didn't you? His friend agrees, furiously demanding to know what Yang did to their team. Yang raises his hands calmly. I swear I didn't lay a single finger on any of them. The student loses his temper. I'm going to make you pay. He screams, summoning his beast and ordering it to attack Yan. Tong screams a warning. Annoyed, Yan says, you're throwing your life away. He summons Zhulong. The massive dragon instantly engulfs the attacking beast in a pillar of fire, incinerating it in seconds. Yao is left speechless, staring at Zhulong in shock. He has another SSS-rank beast, she thinks to herself, unable to grasp the depths of Yang's power. Yam looks at the furious student. If you still want to fight, you and your friends can try again. Having just watched his beast get turned to ash, the student is terrified. This isn't over. He stammers, quickly using a teleportation scroll to flee with his group. Shuang and Lu cheer wildly, hoisting Yang onto their shoulders and calling him their absolute hero. Tom laughs and tells them to settle down so they can leave. Yang agrees, and the team heads off. Watching from a distance, Hal sees with jealousy. Enjoy your glory while it lasts, Yang. Your good days are numbered, he mutters bitterly. Back in their meeting room, Tom anxiously asks Yang, did you really kill those rival student? Yang feigns innocent. Of course not. I'm way too nice for that. Shuang gives him a skeptical look, having personally witnessed Yang massacre the Black Shark thugs not long ago. Yao asks, then why didn't they exit the gate? They could have just teleported out. Yang finally admits the truth. I swear I didn't touch a single hair on their heads. I only killed their beasts. They tried to kill me, but I spared their lives, even though I could have ended them. Shuang gasps, killing a summoner's beast is the cruelest thing you can do to them. Lu nods grimly. A summoner without their beasts is nothing. They revert to being normal, fragile human. They'd probably died to the dungeon mobs. Yao looks highly concerned. If the Philippine kingdom finds out you did this, they will never let it go. It will cause a massive incident. Yang remains unbothered, smiling confidently. Let them come. I'm ready for anyone who tries to hurt me. Suddenly, Dean Chuji enters the room. The team immediately stands at attention. Chuji smiles. I reviewed your combat data. Your performance was outstanding, especially yours, Yang. Yang feels a knot in his stomach, realizing the dean probably saw exactly what he did in the boss room. Yang waits until the others leave, then approaches Chuji. You're not going to punish me for what happened with the Philippine team, are you? They attacked me first. They wanted me dead. Chuji chuckles softly. Don't worry. It was just an unfortunate accident. No need to stress over it. Yang is surprised by the dean's casual reaction and asks why he isn't mad. Chuji's expression hardens. The Philippine kingdom has grown far too arrogant lately. What happened to their students was a necessary lesson. Yang is still skeptical. They won't just let this slide. Chuji waves a hand dismissively. I will handle the politic. You are dismissed. As Yang leaves, Lady Chi steps out from behind a curtain. She asked Chuji what he thinks of the boy. He is a priceless treasure for our nation. Chuji replies. She sighs. But he is still too weak. He needs intense training if he's going to shoulder the burden of our future. Chuji nods in agreement. I understand. I will intentionally make things much harder for him to force his growth. Later, Yam heads to the academy's gate hall. He marvels at the massive facility, eager to find high-level gates with rich loot. He spots groups of students actively recruiting members to meet gate requirements. Yan approaches a specific portal. A system prompt warns him. Recommended level, 17. Entry fee, 200 heavenly dragon coins. Surrounding students notice him and start whispering. Is he crazy? He's only level 13, and he's trying to enter a level 17 gate alone. One veteran student scoffs. Newbies always act invincible until the gate teaches them a brutal lesson. Ignoring them, Yang pays the fee and enters. He finds himself in a jungle infested with massive, mutated carnivorous plants. He summons his beasts, ordering them to clear the brush. Xing charges ahead, his axe spinning like a buzzsaw through the thick vines, while Yang hops onto the turtle's back to ride in comfort. With Xing acting as a lawnmower, they quickly reach the end of the dungeon. Yang uses detection on the boss, a colossal, ancient treant. He notes that its raw stats aren't exceptionally high, but then he notices the boss burying its massive roots deep into the earth. It's trying to absorb the earth's energy to heal or buff itself. Yang deduces it. He immediately orders Xing to sever the roots. Xing dashes in and chops them cleanly. However, the treant instantly sprouts new roots, whipping them violently toward Yang. Surprised by its resilience, Yang decides to end it quickly. He raises his hand and fires Soul Tear. The purple energy pierces the treant's core. The massive plant shudders, dies, and dissolves into a shower of golden light. As the battle concludes, Yang notices a shiny scroll among the loot. He picks it up. Vibrating with excitement, he unrolls it, and his eyes widen in sheer joy. It's a skill upgrade scroll. Yes, Yang cheers, pumping his fist. I'm going to upgrade myself.